Hello, hello. Welcome to my space. I hope you are doing well. So, before we are getting into a reading, I wanted to talk about something. I often see online things like you need to make people respect you and you need to do that and you need to do that. And first of all, let's separate two things. If we are talking about corporate people that you have no other choice but to deal with them, then yes, of course. But if we are talking about social life, friends, family, all those kind of things, my theory is totally different, and I want to share it with you because maybe it will resonate with you. My theory is let people be themselves, right? I tend to make people feel very comfortable. So in the past, it was more because I was a people pleaser, because I didn't feel comfortable with confrontation, all those kind of things. So I wanted to feel comfortable. I wanted other people to feel comfortable, right? But later on, even when I was not a people pleaser anymore and I had no issue with confrontation, I still maintain the same thing. First of all, because this is me, I want people to be comfortable, but there is a huge advantage in that, right? It is that when you allow people to be themselves, then they show you who they are, right? So if somebody, for example, is trying you in some kind of way and they see that you don't react because they were testing you, right? So they will think maybe that they can continue, right? And slowly but surely they are showing who they are. And nothing is more powerful than knowledge. I would prefer much more to be able to know who a person is than having a person pretending to be somebody that they are not. And when you make people feel comfortable, they will show who they are at the end of the day, right? So, in the beginning, it might be testing you, and if you don't react in a way that they expect you to react, or you don't just push back, so they will continue and they will continue and they will continue. At the end of the day, this is what I want to tell you, right? A good person is not trying you. A good person has morality. A person who respects themselves, they want to have a high opinion of themselves and they are not trying to take from anyone. You know, it's like I will give you an example, right? If you are dealing with a cheater, right? And if they are hiding because they are afraid that you will catch them, then it doesn't make them not being a cheater. They are still a cheater. And I would prefer to know that I'm dealing with a cheater. So I'm giving space to people, right? Because at the first occasion, they will cheat because it is a cheater. But at the end of the day, you know, a cheater doesn't respect themselves, because if they respect themselves, they wouldn't put themselves in a position where they need to hide, they need to sneak, and they need to lie, right? So at the end of the day, you know, I don't feel that we need especially to put limits to people. The limit that we should put, it is observe what is going on, and then, you know, telling them or trying to convince them there is no point at the end of the day. There is no point. So I will observe, I will see what's going on. I see that I'm dealing with somebody who is dishonest, a cheater, a manipulator, a taker. I observe, and then I'm adapting myself, you know? I'm adapting. I'm closing my heart space, I give less, or I'm just being myself, you know? But I'm taking in consideration, telling them, you are like this and you are like that, there is no point in that. The most important it is for you to see. And if because you are kind, understanding, generous, empathetic, people are trying to abuse this, at the end of the day, all they are doing, it is revealing themselves. This is what they are doing, right? Because they think that because you are all those kind of things, that you might be naive, especially if you don't say anything. what does it reveal? And so what they are doing also, it is that they are underestimating you. When somebody is underestimating you, at the end of the day, you have the power, right? Because they think you are blind, they think you are this, they think they are stronger. So they are underestimating you, and at the end of the day, this is how they reveal themselves, right? So anyway, I know that for me, you know, I adapted myself in all kind of situations before I decided, you know what, I have no power to deal with none of that. So when I see things, you know, I let go, right? But there was a time where I didn't consider especially to let go, maybe related to the fact that I grew up next to a monster and my parents were pretending that this monster loved me when they clearly hated me. So, you know, I kind of thought that I have to find a way to manage with everyone, right? I didn't understand that I have the right to put boundaries and to say no, because this is the dysfunctionality of toxic families. And this is why also I was trying to manage, you know, I was just closing my heart space and that's it. But if you have been in all those kind of situations, you know, and then at a certain moment you get to a place where you see things clearly, put people aside, we cannot be surprised that they are attacking, right? Because they thought that you didn't see. The moment that you step back, it means that in fact, during all this time, you might not have said a lot, but you saw. And then they feel uncomfortable. But why do they feel uncomfortable? Because they know that they didn't act the right way. And so they might try, you know, the smear campaign and all those kind of things in order to try to protect themselves if you would ever say to someone who they truly are. And they are doing that because they would, right? And this is how, at the end of the day, they are falling, because they are describing you in a certain way that has nothing to do with you, and they are obsessed by that also very often. So they are talking and talking and talking while you are already far away. You don't care, you don't pay attention. You are just doing your own thing, being happy that you released of the toxicity. And this is how, at the end of the day, they are revealing themselves, right? So, this being said, let's get into a reading. I don't know which deck I want to use, so I will go fishing here in my little papers. It might be related to what we just spoke, and it might not be. I don't know. We'll see. So, let's see. What oracle deck are we using? What's the vibe? What's the vibe? What's the vibe? I think that this is... No, this is not what's the vibe. Let me think. This is what's the tea. I'm surprised. I thought that this was what's the vibe. Am I missing something here? What's the vibe? I should have known. I should have known. I like this deck. Let's take out the cards, put it back, because I don't know if the lights will be different. Let's see. Am I using this deck in one direction? Yes, I am. Okay. So let's see. What is the theme here? Ah, no, I see that I have two directions. What are the messages that the collective should know right now? Let's see. No, it's this one and not this one. Okay. Somebody here is hopeless. This is the setting. Clingy. An old ex. Dead relationship. Old ways. thrills. Thrills, it is continuous cycle, bad decisions, addictions. We have another card here. Nightlife in reverse. Okay. Mask in reverse. Glow up. Mask in reverse. Glow up. This kind of relates to me to what we were talking before with the mask in reverse. Let's take 3 more. 1, 2 et 3. Okay, so let's see. What do we have here? The setting is that somebody is hopeless. They are in a difficult situation. The clingy here, it is in the position of the relationship, partnerships, all of those kind of things. So we might be talking here about someone who was clingy on you, maybe an energy vampire, maybe somebody who didn't accept to let go. They were all about thrills. I kind of feel here the person who is more in a low vibration. We already had a reading about that, about someone that was all about, they wanted a relationship, but they saw the relationship from their root chakra, right? It was all about schmexual energy. There was no true partnership. There was no a higher level of commitment. So yes, they might have been committed, but there was no ability to have a true connection, right? So nightlife in reverse. I kind of feel here that we might be talking about someone who was trying to make you adapt to who they need you to be. With the thrills here, I kind of feel the one's energy in reverse, the fire energy in reverse, someone who needs the highs and the lows. So yes, we might be talking here about somebody narcissistic. It doesn't have to be, right? We might also be talking about someone who's stuck in addictions, for example. So the mask has fallen off. At a certain moment, they should have let go, be authentic. They were not. They are very regretful of that right now. I'm attracted to this clingy and those 2 cards, right? Somebody trying to force you into an energy that you are not. I kind of feel here that you could also see something behind the mask. So maybe not in the beginning, but at a certain moment you felt something and you could see something. At the end of the day, what we also have here, it is that this person might have realized now that they might not have seen the reality of who you are, not because you were fake, but because they were, right? We have the glow up here, new opportunities, new career, successful business. This tells me that you didn't stay there. You moved, but with the clingy here, I kind of feel that they didn't let go. And the issue here, we have in the 7th position, the puzzle in reverse, it's written confused, perplexed, conflicted, right? So this kind of feels that they were stuck in their ways and they didn't want to change. We have here the gossip and the rumors and the nosy. With the clingy here, we might be talking about someone who was stalking you. At the end of the day, they might have tried to keep you stuck with rumors, gossip, all those kind of things. Now it is backfiring on them. We are in the 8th position here. What goes around comes around. The infinite sign of the 8, right? So now we are ending here with emotions, worry, fear waves. So they are very hopeless. They are very emotional right now. There is here something about somebody who is unable to change, elevate. This also feels that they are unmasked at the end of the day. They are unmasked, so they might have been unmasked through you or through somebody else. Those two cards come together. So it also means that at the end of the day, the moment that you could see things more clearly, this allowed you to have a true glow up, right? Because you might have been confused here about this person. Because on one side, it kind of felt that they just want to have fun, right? Like it was all about fun. But on the other side, we have this clingy energy. So if all you want to have it is have fun, so why are you clingy, right? Just go and have fun. Leave me alone, right? If I'm not in this vibe. But we see here continuous cycle. They are stuck there. So I kind of feel that we are talking here about somebody who might be avoiding their own feelings. They might be avoiding a real relationship, a deep partnership, because they might not be able to have it. They might not be able emotionally to sustain it, right? I also feel here, right, that we might be talking, yeah, it's written, addictions. It's written. Yeah, we might be talking here about somebody who is totally emotionally numb. They are in the highs and lows. They are hiding a part of themselves. Yeah, okay. So let's get into the tarot and let's get a little bit more information about all of this. Really, we are beginning and ending with loss, depression, unalignment, emotions, worry, and fear, right? And we have here also the fact that there is some kind of glow up for you. This unmask here might be related to them, but also to you. Not saying that you were masked, but if we had here somebody who was feeding some kind of rumors, gossip, all those kind of things. Sorry, it is also written nosy, so it means that people might have observed you, because the kind of energy of clingy here, right? It is somebody who doesn't let go. They don't let go. So as said, they might have been obsessively talking about you. And so they just attracted eyes on you. And so people became nosy, and they have understood that whatever was painted about you was totally fake. So it didn't just reveal you for who you are. And what people might have seen is that, in fact, you are having a glow up. You are in a great energy, a new career maybe, successful business. And it has also revealed them as liars, manipulators, somebody being resentful, somebody being clingy. All those kind of energies, right? So, let's get into tarot. Just a reminder, this is a collective reading, which means that it is a group reading, which means that it might be for you, it might be partly for you, and it might not be for you. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. You are already supposed to know what we are talking about. I'm just here in order to give you a little bit more information, insights or confirmation. If I am talking about masculines or feminines, I am not especially talking about the gender. I'm talking about the energy from where someone is operating. So please apply it however it applies to the roles in your life. And this can be past, present, or future. So let's see. What more should we be aware of in this situation? Emotional manipulator trying to block some kind of ending. We have the death card that came out like this, turning this way. So for me, this is talking about someone who doesn't accept an ending. They are stuck, right? This is a total ending and moving forward. but this reflects on the clingy here. I will put it like this because this is how, and we are talking here about an emotional manipulator. This is someone that might be love bombing and all those kind of things. Might be somebody very charming. And at the end of the day, it's not surprising to see here an emotional manipulator when we have the mask here. Let's see, can you see those cards? Yes, you can. Okay. Let's see, what else should we know here? So they might even have emotionally manipulated the fact that the relationship ended, right? Because they are clingy, right? So if they are saying that the relationship ends, so you are available. And so they didn't want that, right? So yes, they might have lied about you and say all kind of things. There are two ways, right? If somebody is very, very clingy and they don't accept the breakup, right? So, or they might say about you horrible things, right? Very often they adapt the lies according to who they're talking to. So nobody wants to approach you, right? Like, for example, some go as far as saying that their ex might have a STD, right? This is how far this can go. Or they might pretend that the relationship is not over, and so you are not available, and so people will not approach you, right? Very often they are more doing the first option than the second. But it might be both here. Yeah, they were hoping here that people wouldn't see the fact that the energy is totally blocked between both of you. But, as said, they have talked too much. They have talked too much, right? So people became nosy, right? They wanted to know what is the tea. Yeah, and so what they saw, in fact, it is that you are putting no energy in this connection. That whatever this person was saying, in fact, it was lies. This might also say that at the end of the day, the emotional manipulation that they were doing is coming to a total end. They cannot do that because people are seeing things very clearly now. They are not blinded. They see. And what they see, it is that you might not be doing anything. Tell me more here, please. Yeah. Yes. Five of Wands. You are not fighting. You are not competing. You are not putting any energy there. You are not trying to get them back. They might have said, very often liars, when they are lying about somebody else, they are in fact describing themselves. So they might have said that you were clingy, right? But the proof is here. Wands in reverse. Yeah, they were trying to maintain appearances here for a reason or another. They thought that if the truth would come out about the separation, that it would somehow hurt their image, their status. I also feel that the ending here might have bruised their ego, and so they were very much operating from their ego, feeling the need to impose the fact that they are the king of the jungle, right? I am in power, I decide, I do whatever I want. Yeah. The King of Pentacles in reverse will do whatever they need to do in order to maintain their image, right? Because the image is very important, because we are talking here about someone who could be corrupted. So, of course, if somebody, for example, I'm just taking an example, if we are talking about a thief, for example. If people know that they are a thief, or if it feels that you cannot trust them, then they cannot steal anymore, right? So they need to maintain their image, absolutely, to be able to continue to do the corrupted things that they are doing. Tell me more here, please. Oh, the card fell on the floor. Let's see, what is it? So interesting, listen. We had the 5 of Wands in reverse and the 7 of Wands in reverse. There is a little difference about those two cards, because with the 5 of Wands we are truly talking about an outer energy, you know, competing, fighting. This is the 5 of Wands. With the 7 of Wands, it is more protecting something that you achieved already, and it might also talk about inner fights. Might have the two elements. We have the 7 here, right? You know that the 7, it is related to spirituality, growth, healing, all those kind of things. It is like the inner relationship that you have with yourself, it might be. But here, you were not even trying to fight for the relationship. There was nothing for you to protect. There was nothing to defend. There was... And if we are talking about the inner dialogue, even inside of yourself, you were not confused anymore. You might have been confused during some time. But here, there is none of that. You are not trying to defend the relationship. You might also not have tried to defend yourself. You know, maybe you have felt that there was like a smear campaign or people trying to get into your business. So you might have put strong boundaries and protected yourself. But talking about trying to protect the relationship, no, you don't. There is nothing to protect here. Let's see, tell me more here, please. And the fact that this card also fell on the floor, I kind of feel that this is what they didn't want people to see. That you were not fighting to preserve the relationship. That you were not clingy, they were. For you, the relationship was dead. It was over. You might have realized that you were dealing with a manipulator, a liar, somebody that you cannot trust. Yeah. Putting the burdens down. I kind of feel here that you understood that you were dealing here with someone who was not either what they wanted, right? The thrills and the life and the thing and the that, you didn't like it. Maybe you realized that they are truly addicted, you know. In the beginning you might have seen them drink or something else, and you thought, you know, they say, yeah, no, it's just for the fun, it's just when I'm going out, it's just this, it's just that. And you might have realized that in fact it's not, that they are truly in an addiction and they are not recognizing it. So if they don't recognize, they are not even in the stage of healing it, right? Or you might have realized that you are dealing with a manipulator, that you cannot trust them, that they are just using words in order to get away of whatever situation, that maybe they were entertaining other people too, right? 10 of Wands, putting burdens down and taking the lead here. Yeah, you needed to be very square, you know? Very square. It's a very different energy, this and that here. The Emperor. This is stability. This is responsibility. Yeah. Let's see. Ace of Pentacles, Two of Wands. I kind of feel that whatever you were trying to give, right? Whatever opportunity you gave them, at the end of the day, they did nothing with that. Whatever chance you gave them, they fucked it up. This is what they did. You realize that you are dealing here with a person who has no vision. No vision, no planning, no direction. Yeah, they are all about thrills. I feel a lot of instability, to be honest with you. A lot of instability because you came as an opportunity in their life. But you know, an opportunity, you have to take it and care for it, right? You have to care for whatever you receive. But we are talking here about somebody who doesn't think further than now. They are living in the now. So whatever opportunity you give them, they are not caring for it, feeding it. They are not. Tell me more here, please. This is what I'm saying, they are stuck. We might be talking here about addiction. Somebody stuck in their addiction, somebody stuck in their ways, the 8 of Swords. And we have the 7 of Swords in reverse. So you could see here that you were dealing with someone who was totally escaping themselves, trying to get away from every situation, lying, stealing, manipulating, cheating, backstabbing, dishonest. You saw it. You saw it, right? They were hoping that you wouldn't see it, but you did. You saw that they were stuck, that there was no ability, whatever you were giving them here, right? We have this Ace of Pentacles. This is truly giving an opportunity to someone. They didn't do anything with it. Tell me more here, please. Yeah, it was a heartbreak. Yeah, it was a betrayal at the end of the day, right? The reason why it was a betrayal, it is because the fact that you were there, they were not investing. They were not investing. They were stuck in their ways. But at the same time, they were clingy. Betrayal after betrayal after betrayal after betrayal. I also feel here that they feel desperate now because we have the 7 of Swords in reverse, because you see them for who they are. And this is terrible for them, right? Because they present themselves, the King of Cups in reverse, the King of Cups, no matter if he's in the upright or reverse, he's charming. He knows it's a charming person. It's someone who has this energy of the cups. Even though that here in reverse, it is somebody who is using others' heart space in order to manipulate them, because this is somebody who is disconnected from their heart space, or they are afraid of their own feelings, they are avoidant. So they are just manipulating other people with their energy of the cups. It's all that it is. And I feel here that they betrayed you over and over and over and over again, but now they are hopeless, right? And they feel heartbroken. But it's just because they cannot get away with what they did to you. You see things very, very clearly. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Because this bothers me, I always do that. I want you to be on a line. Okay. I will shuffle once more. Tell me more here, please. Yeah, they are refusing the ending. Listen. They are refusing the ending. They are refusing the lesson. With the world card, we have the world card in reverse here, sorry. We are talking about the energy of Saturn. With Saturn, we are talking about life lessons, right? You are ending a cycle when you accept to learn the lesson. They don't. They don't. Continuous cycles. This is why the world is in reverse. Yeah, now they might want to approach you with an apology or something, right? Because they are hopeless now. Let's see, what is this? Ace of Cups. What is this Ace of Cups? Judgment. Turning. Queen of Wands in reverse. Yeah, they are jealous. They are jealous. They are afraid. Now apparently people see things. See you for who you are. You have a glow up. Yeah, the judgment came out like this, right? So people were judging you in a very false way. Harsh judgment, right? Because they were driven by jealousy and they were trying to cling on to you, keep you stuck here. With this Ace of Cups here, I kind of feel that they entertained somehow a kind of spilling into you some kind of feelings or emotions or something like that in order to try to keep you stuck. And maybe in order to be able to avoid to face the ending. We are talking here about someone who doesn't accept the ending. They don't accept it. There is some kind of rejection wounds, something like that, right? Because all of this doesn't make sense. Yeah, doesn't make sense. So yeah, they might have tried to avoid the ending by continuing to somehow fill you with some kind of emotional energy. You know, it makes me think about someone who will post things on the socials, thinking that you are seeing what they are posting and that there are messages for you, you know, maybe once they are trying to make you jealous, or once they are posting like a love song, or, you know, things like this in order to continue to seduce you in some kind of way. Right? This is what it feels here. Refusing to consider that you might even not be looking, not knowing, like they are continuing to feed that just in order to avoid this ending. Like baiting you, trying to bait you. Tell me more here, please. Yeah, yeah, you understand? Working intensely. This is mastery. This is working a lot, seriously, on trying to paint you an image of a happily ever after. You know, it's the person that you realize already who they are, and you are absolutely not interested, and they are talking to you about, we are going to get married, and we are going to do this, and we are going to do that, and we are going to that. And you are already, you know, you are taking care of your own Ten of Cups. And you understand that they are not a Ten of Cups for you, but they refuse the ending. They refuse the ending, so they are continuing to try to bait you, trying to tell you what they think that you want to hear. Yeah, it's a full-time job here. Eight of Pentacles, full-time job. I kind of feel here also that there is some kind of mastering their emotional manipulation. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. Yeah, I understand that they don't want to let you go. You are attractive, you are stable, you are caring, you are generous. This is more the energy that they were into, right? Because this is somebody magnetic. This is somebody attractive, right? There is some kind of sensuality to this person, a very strong energetical pull that people might have towards this Queen of Wands, right? But it's also somebody very independent. So the clingy here, it doesn't work on this Queen of Wands. Impossible. So you have this energy of this magnetic pull, right? Attractive, something very attractive. And at the same time, you are feet on earth. You are also courageous. Feet on earth, taking care of yourself, taking care of home, stable, nurturing. This is somebody very nurturing. Yeah, I understand that they have a hard time to let go, but at the same time, all they wanted was thrills. And they didn't want to change. So, of course, if they are dealing with addiction, you know, it's not so easy, but if the person doesn't even recognize that they have a problem, then it will certainly not be solved. Okay. Let's go to closure here. Tell me more. Oh, Eight of Cups. Yeah. At the end of the day, you had no other choice but to step away. Step away. We are talking here about two people that are very, very different. They are operating from their lowest chakra, and you are operating from your third eye, your heart space. They are operating from chakra 1 and 2, and you are operating from 4, 5, 6, and 7. So it feels like this person understands your value, but they don't understand. They are not able to work on themselves. Like there is here something that doesn't make sense, right? There is here something... this also kind of tells me, you know... It kind of tells me that the moment that you step back, right, which they refuse, we know the world is in reverse here. We are talking here about somebody who refuses to learn their lessons. We also have the continuous cycles here, right? We have the clingy. I also feel here that they until you left, they didn't take you seriously. You know, a little bit related to what I was talking about in the beginning, right? That those people that when you are not reacting or you are not telling them you need putting boundaries or, you know, straight up, putting them on their place, so they think that they can just continue and continue and continue and continue, and they are becoming worse and worse and worse, right? But the moment that you leave, naive, then suddenly they realize that you were not blind, you were not naive, and then they realize that in fact you might be somebody very nurturing. And at the opposite of what they thought, because they thought that you were weak, blind, naive, a dreamer. The energy that we have here, it is absolutely not that, right? This is somebody very confident, strong and confident. This is not a dreamer. This is not a dreamer. This is somebody feet on earth. There is no more energy of feet on earth than the Queen of Pentacles. We are with the Pentacles. This is somebody very, very realistic. But they kind of thought that they could do whatever they wanted, that they were better than you, that they could force you into their ways, right? Totally disrespecting you because they thought that they were better than you. They totally underestimated you. And the moment that you left, suddenly they saw you differently. But instead of elevating, it's not what they did. They were trying here to keep you stuck in some kind of way, trying to bait you, not accepting the ending, feeding the gossip, trying to block you from having another relationship. So now they are hopeless and desperate. Why? Because whatever they said, however they presented themselves, you could see behind the mask. And now people can see behind the mask because they were talking so much about you that people became nosy. And what they are seeing, that you have a glow up, that you are totally fine, that you are not clingy, that you ended the cycle, that you are not responding to the bait. They see a Queen of Wands here, somebody dynamic, confident, always moving forward, creative. There's a lot of self-confidence and independence here. A lot. Taking care of yourself, of your garden, of your money. Independent. There is a lot of independence here. The queens in the deck, they are totally in control of their element, right? So this is somebody who is in control of their and in control in a good way. I mean, it's not like being in control from an unhealed place. It is truly it comes from a place of maturity. The queen, at the end of the day, she's at the same level as the king. There is no imbalance there. She's not under the king. So we are talking here about someone who has matured their own elements. Here we are talking about passion, about energy, about confidence. This is the ones. The pentacles, we are talking about manifestation, about real life, about money. This is somebody who knows how to invest their money. It's a very high level here, right? And with this is what they are seeing, right? And they can also see that this person is in this energy. Stuck in cycles, making bad decisions, being into addiction, into partying. And that there is nothing there. But there is nothing there because they don't grow and they don't evaluate. We might be talking here about a twin flame connection, right? Yeah, we might be talking about a twin flame connection here. Let's see, is there something else here? Yeah, they see that you are not closed off, you are not depressed, you are taking care of yourself, of your investments, right? You are not expecting anything from them. They might have said that you were desperate for them, that you wanted to get married with them, but they didn't want. But people can see the truth. you headed towards a new beginning. Because you understood that this person was not operating from their heart space. They are guilty. They are guilty. Yeah, you healed. You don't deal with this toxicity. You might have in the past, but you are not anymore. I truly feel that they said that you are clingy. Right? Look, healing, healing. We have the Ten of Pentacles here. King of Wands. Moving forward. Yeah, while they were the one hiding. Look, the smear campaign card. Look, the moon. All of this is hiding. All of this says secrets. All of this says illusions. Those three cards. This is all it was. And I feel that they live in a state of illusion, maybe because of their addictions, maybe because of this wound that they are not taking care of, that they are trying to avoid. Right? All of this is talking about illusions and secrets. All of this. Very intense energy here. Yeah, they lost. They lost because you are not depressed. You are not depressed. Yeah, they totally lost balance. Look. Judgment in reverse. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Totally unbalanced. Justice in reverse. Totally unfair. I tell you, I feel here, you know, that we are talking about somebody who's lost. They are lost. They are lost and they are not taking care of themselves. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. It's all about appearances. It's all about status, power. Instead of working on their inner self, they are working on maintaining some kind of mask. Pretending to be somebody that they are not. While in fact they have absolutely no stability. They have none. Yeah, again, we have a card here of losing. They lost. Yeah. Look, holding on. Yeah, but the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse. The Chariot is in reverse. Yeah, they are stuck. They are stuck and they are stuck and there is only one way to unstuck them. And I kind of feel here that this person might have treated people like shit all their life, right? But somehow they left before people were leaving. I kind of feel here, you know, the narcissist. They are getting into a relationship and so they are love bombing, and so once the person is there, the slightest doubt that the person would have, they would just move on, right? Move on and move on and move on. As soon as the person wanted something more than the thrills and the passion. So they were putting an end to it. And somehow here, you put an end to it. You put an end to it and you are the one that got away. And then suddenly, they cannot stand it. There is a rejection wound, something like that. They refuse and they just numb themselves more and more and more. And totally lose track of the reality. Acting in horrible ways, being totally lost in their own lies and their own delusions. And now it is all, you know, because they were sipping the tea on your behalf painting you in a way that is so much not who you are, right? I kind of feel that they might have even tried to move on from you, you know? But they couldn't release. They couldn't release, right? They moved on just because, you know, they wanted to be in this energy and they wanted to avoid their feelings. And maybe they wanted to make you jealous and they thought that this was the right way to know, you know, to try to make you jealous. When you have this energy, first of all, you are not jealous, and when somebody is playing these stupid games, you just, they just, you lose respect for them. You lose respect, right? We are here talking about a queen. So maybe when you were a page, not experienced, or you were a knight, experiencing life, then maybe it could have worked. But when you are the status of a queen or a king, it's over and done with. You see it exactly for what it is. It's ridicule, right? Yeah. Yeah, and the moment that you step away, this is when suddenly they realized your value. The wheel of fortune is also in reverse. I kind of feel here, as I said, it might be a kind of twin flame relationship. Maybe it was fated, you know, to stop them. To stop them, right? They had to let go long time ago. They didn't let go. And I kind of feel that now they have to face themselves, right? They are in a dark place, but they need to be in this dark place in order to make changes. We know that we are not making changes in life when everything goes well, when it rolls, right? They are stopped. We saw the Chariot in reverse. They cannot move forward. Things are not going well. They will have no other choice but to hit rock bottom, and I kind of feel that they might be there. And rebuild, you know, face whatever they need to face and rebuild. Will they do that? I don't know, right? And I don't think that you care, because I kind of feel that you might be, you know, doing your own thing. Doing your own thing. Kind of feel that you saw enough. We have the Emperor here, we have the Star, the Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, right? So anyway, I will leave it here. I hope that it was insightful, helpful, maybe even healing. I don't know. I wish you a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, whenever you are watching this. I'll see you in the comments. Until very, very soon. Bye.